Hey guys, Micah from Black Bear Custom Kydex. I've got a video for you today on a couple sheaths that are going to Australia, to Cody. So Cody ordered an auto-deploy sheath for a Spyderco Paramilitary 2 and a leather-wrapped Kydex sheath for a Tops Operator 7. You guys have seen me doing these lately. Not just leather-wrapped, but Op 7s I've done. 4 or 5 I feel like in the past few months maybe. Anyway, you just saw that cool chest rig I finished for Sebastian out in California. That one I'm really excited about. So, in any event, let's take a look at this Operator 7 first. So this guy is burgundy leather wrapped Kydex, and I chose for a Kydex burgundy Raptor just because the color match is so good. You can see it's just about an identical color. It's so much so that you can hardly tell where the Kydex and leather meet. It's more of like a texture change. You can see that up here, this curve. The lighting's not particularly good, but so anyway, that's what I got here. I think that came out really nice. It looks cool. Got that logo stamped in, and obviously he asked for it to be just on a tech lock. So this tech lock can be oriented vertically, and then if you turn it sideways, turn the tech lock sideways, use these same two holes, you'll get horizontal. And you can also line it up around that, somewhere around that angle, canted for a cross draw, and you want to use these two holes, obviously orienting the tech lock upright. So got some options there for a carry, and yeah, pretty simple. Black stitching all the way around the side. I get this question almost every time I put out a stitched sheath, whether or not I use a sewing machine. No sewing machine. This is all hand stitched. So essentially what I do, I know I don't do it quite the way that a real leather worker would, but the sort of order of events that I take when I do my stitching specifically is I will, after the leather is like molded over the Kydex, like I'll finish the sheath itself, the Kydex, and then I'll fold a big square of leather over it, so I have a ton of excess hanging off on all sides, like well over an inch on every edge. And then I take, where is it? I go really slow, and I just use this little point, and I etch what I want for the outline of the sheath, roughly. Well, not roughly, I do it pretty precisely because it has to be precise with the leather. And then once that's outlined, I use a tool. Let me show you. This thing is called an edge groover. And so what you do is you can twist this and move this piece in or out, and all that does is it catches on the edge of the sheath. So I make my groove with this pointed tool here, this little awl, and then I cut with a razor all the way around in that groove. So I get the final shape roughly, and then I'll take this tool and you line it up with the edge of the leather like so, and put this part down on the leather, and as you drag along it actually digs out a groove in the leather, but it does it at a fixed distance from the edge, so you get a nice consistent distance between the edge of the sheath and where the stitching is. And then from there I'd hammer I just use these, they're called diamond awls. I have some with 1 prong, some with 2, some with 4, and this one has 6. So anyway, I hammer those through so you get fixed distances between each drill hole or each stitching hole, and then it's time to stitch. So everything I do is handcrafted. I obviously use a couple machines in the shop, like a drill press, belt sander, but that's about it. So anyway, I really love these leather wrapped Kydex sheaths. I think that's one of the coolest things that a sheath maker can do these days. It's just such a beautiful effect, and you get all the functionality of the Kydex, all the rustic feel of leather. So anyway, sorry for rambling. I'm just kind of I'm in love with the leather over Kydex thing. You guys know that. So anyway, if I can find it, since I just dropped it. Here we go. All right, so then for the PM2, he told me to pick the colors. Excuse me, guys. So anyway, I picked Desert Tan with Kryptek Highlander over it. Actually, this is Flat Dark Earth, sorry. Flat Dark Earth and Kryptek Highlander for the lock. So this is a right-handed OWB locking belt sheath, whatever you want to call it. Rides on a tech lock. You can change the angle if you'd like to. This is just where I set it up because I feel it's the most comfortable. And for those of you who haven't already checked these out, you have a locking mechanism. That's what this pattern piece is here. All you have to do to lock it is just kind of push. I use one finger to brace the lock, and then I use my thumb to kind of push toward the lock. So I flex the two pieces of the sheath toward the lock. To unlock it, you just push against the lock. It snaps off. And then, once it's unlocked, you just draw your knife out like so. Just give a tiny little flick of the wrist as you come down like so. And that helps the momentum to get that blade out of there. I'll show you what happens if you draw straight out of the sheath. It just does a partial open. And the reason is because if you check out what's happening, as you start to separate the knife from the sheath, the blade wants to stay right where it's at inside the sheath. So you have to kind of separate the butt of the handle from the tip of the blade. And that momentum is actually, in fact, just to make a point, while it's here, watch this. Let me try that again. Right, so just that jerking motion keeps that momentum going. So part of the function of this is technically a gimmick. It's not, the sheath doesn't actually fully deploy your blade. It's partially the sheath that gets it going and momentum that finishes the job. So, but it's very consistent. It works really well, and they are super fun and practical. So, oops, see, it didn't rotate the wrist. Alright guys, that's what I got for you. If you like these sheaths, if you like this video, hit that like button. If you like my channel, subscribe. And definitely comment down below. Let me know what you think. Auto open sheaths. Let me know what you think of leather over Kydex. I love this look. It's absolutely my favorite thing. So, alright guys, share it with all your buddies. I appreciate you sticking with me. And tune in for the next one. God bless.